When he came out, she said he's got a mask on, and that was my first inkling that there was anything actually wrong going on. He had this black hood on, came clear down to here, just little slits in the eyes, and where, you know, these clip-on glasses, they were clipped into those little loops.
Please subscribe to our channel and turn on bell icon to watch more real true crimes around the world. I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild animals in the forest because man is the most dangerous game of all. Dear editor, this is the Zodiac speaking. I am back with you. Tell Herb Cain I am here, I have always been here. That city pig Toshi is good, but I am smarter and better. He will get tired and leave me alone. I am waiting for a good movie about me. Who will play me? I am now in control of all things yours truly. Guess. The Zodiac Killer, a name that sends shivers down the spine, represents a dark chapter in the history of American crime. From the late 1960s to the early 1970s, this elusive and sadistic murderer struck fear into the hearts of the San Francisco Bay Area residents. The Zodiac Killer's calculated killings, cryptic letters, and mysterious symbols created an atmosphere of terror and uncertainty during a time of cultural upheaval and social transformation. The late 1960s were marked by a wave of counterculture movements, anti-establishment sentiments, and a general feeling of disillusionment among the American populace. The Zodiac Killer's crimes added an additional layer of fear and anxiety to an already tumultuous era. The sense of vulnerability that pervaded society was palpable as people grappled with the fear of an unknown assailant lurking in their midst. The Zodiac Killer targeted young couples, often attacking them in remote and desolate locations, heightening the sense of isolation and vulnerability experienced by his victims. His choice of victims and the brutality of his attacks struck at the heart of the American psyche. But what truly captivated the public's attention and propelled the Zodiac Killer into the realm of infamy were his cryptic letters and codes. Through a series of taunting messages sent to newspapers, the Zodiac Killer reveled in the attention he garnered. These letters contained complex ciphers, challenging both the authorities and the public to decipher his twisted messages, further fueling the public's fascination and curiosity. Law enforcement agencies, including the San Francisco Police Department and the Napa Valley Sheriff's Office, embarked on an exhaustive and unprecedented investigation to unmask the Zodiac Killer. The case became one of the largest manhunts in American history, with detectives tirelessly sifting through evidence, interviewing suspects, and analyzing the cryptic letters. Yet, despite their best efforts, the Zodiac Killer managed to elude capture, leaving investigators frustrated and the public in a state of fear. Over the years, various suspects have emerged, each with their own compelling narratives and circumstantial evidence linking them to the crimes. However, despite numerous investigations and tantalizing leads, the true identity of the Zodiac Killer remains a mystery, shrouded in speculation and conjecture. The case has become a tantalizing puzzle, captivating armchair detectives and inspiring countless theories and hypotheses. The Zodiac Killer's notoriety has transcended the realm of true crime, leaving an indelible mark on popular culture. Books, documentaries, and films have sought to unravel the mystery, each contributing to the enduring fascination with this unidentified serial killer. The Zodiac Killer's chilling symbol, a circle with a crosshair, has become synonymous with fear and intrigue, a haunting reminder of the terror he inflicted. One distinguishing characteristic of the Zodiac Killer's approach was his premeditation and stalking of potential victims. He would carefully observe and plan his attacks, choosing locations that provided maximum seclusion and minimal risk of interruption. This level of preparation indicated a degree of intelligence and cunning that further added to the mystique surrounding the killer. The Zodiac Killer is believed to be responsible for a series of attacks that occurred in the late 1960s and early 1970s. The confirmed victims of the Zodiac Killer are as follows. David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen on December 20th, 1968. The Zodiac Killer's first known attack took place at Lake Herman Road in Benicia, California. David Faraday, age 17, and Betty Lou Jensen, age 16, were on their first date when they were shot and killed by an unknown assailant. Darlene Ferrin and Michael Magoo. On July 4, 1969, the Zodiac Killer struck again at Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo, California. Darlene Ferrin, age 22, and Michael Magoo, age 19, were sitting in a parked car when the killer approached and shot them. Darlene Ferrin died from her injuries, but Michael Magoo survived despite being critically wounded. Paul Stein. On October 11, 1969, the Zodiac Killer's final confirmed murder occurred in San Francisco. Paul Stein, age 29, a taxi driver, was shot and killed by the Zodiac Killer while giving him a ride. The killer took a piece of Stein's blood-stained shirt as proof of the crime. On September 27, 1969, the Zodiac Killer targeted Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard at Lake Berryessa near Napa, California. The killer approached them wearing a black executioner-style hood and a Zodiac symbol on his chest. He bound and stabbed both victims multiple times. Brian Hartnell survived the attack, but Cecilia Shepard died from her injuries. There have been claims and speculation linking the Zodiac Killer to additional attacks and murders, but these three cases are the ones officially attributed to the Zodiac Killer based on evidence and the killer's own communications. It is important to note that the true extent of the Zodiac Killer's crimes and potential victims remains unknown. He even claimed to have killed more than 30 people. Perhaps one of the most perplexing aspects of the Zodiac Killer case was his correspondence with law enforcement and the media. The killer sent a series of letters to various newspapers, including the San Francisco Chronicle, the Vallejo Times-Herald, and the San Francisco Examiner. These letters contained cryptic codes, ciphers, and taunting messages that served to both confuse and captivate the public and investigators. The Zodiac Killer claimed that by deciphering his codes, the authorities would be able to uncover his identity. He challenged them to solve his puzzles, often including threats of further violence if they failed to comply. These letters became a platform for the killer to assert his dominance, feeding his desire for attention and control. Despite extensive efforts by both professional codebreakers and amateur enthusiasts, many of the Zodiac's codes remain unsolved. The most famous of these codes, known as the Z340 cipher, was cracked in 2020 by a team of codebreakers, revealing a chilling message but falling short of providing any definitive clues to the killer's identity. The Zodiac Killer's use of codes and ciphers added an additional layer of intrigue to an already baffling case. The letters and their encrypted messages became a tantalizing puzzle, captivating the public's imagination and generating widespread media coverage. In the face of the Zodiac Killer's cryptic communications, law enforcement agencies dedicated significant resources to deciphering the codes and apprehending the killer. However, the lack of advanced technology and forensic techniques at the time, coupled with the killer's ability to leave minimal physical evidence at the crime scenes, presented significant challenges for investigators. The unresolved nature of the codes and the tantalizing possibility that they may hold the key to the killer's identity continue to fuel speculation and fascination even decades after the crimes were committed. Investigators interviewed numerous witnesses and followed up on various leads, but the lack of reliable eyewitness accounts hindered progress. The Zodiac Killer struck swiftly and without warning, leaving little opportunity for witnesses to provide detailed descriptions. The absence of advanced forensic technology available today, such as DNA analysis, meant that crucial evidence was not available to aid in the identification of the killer. Over the years, a number of suspects have emerged in connection with the Zodiac Killer case, each with their own compelling reasons for suspicion. One of the most notable suspects was Arthur Lee Allen, a former schoolteacher who had a history of violence and a fascination with cryptograms. Alan became the prime suspect in the eyes of some investigators, but the evidence against him was mostly circumstantial, and he was ultimately cleared due to a lack of conclusive proof linking him to the crimes. Other notable suspects include Lawrence Kane, a convicted child molester who had a resemblance to the composite sketches of the Zodiac Killer, and Ross Sullivan, a troubled individual who exhibited violent tendencies and had similarities to the killer's description. Despite the existence of viable suspects, none have been definitively proven to be the Zodiac Killer, leaving the case open and the true identity of the killer a mystery. The Zodiac Killer's crimes and the enduring mystery surrounding his identity have left an indelible mark on popular culture. Notably, the 2007 film Zodiac, directed by David Fincher, brought renewed attention to the case and captured the public's imagination. The Zodiac Killer's distinctive symbol, a circle with a crosshair, has become an iconic image associated with fear and intrigue. The symbol has been adopted as a morbid fascination by some and has appeared in various forms of media, including artwork, clothing, and even tattoos. Online communities and forums are dedicated to discussing and dissecting the evidence, theories, and possible leads. The Zodiac Killer remains one of the most elusive and enigmatic figures in the annals of American crime history, leaving behind a legacy of unsolved mystery and unanswered questions. The case serves as a chilling reminder of the limits of law enforcement and the enduring power of unsolved mysteries. As time goes on, advancements in forensic technology and the relentless pursuit of answers may one day provide the breakthrough needed to unmask the Zodiac Killer. Until then, the legend of this elusive serial killer lives on, perpetuating a sense of unease and fascination.